we are going to be moving over to personal database. All right, so let's go ahead and open it up. We are, of course, on a new month. We are going to go ahead and move over to a different topic. We are going to be moving over to personal database. We're going to go over, of course, break down with what consists of a personal database, what should be, who should be the people that should be in there, and then most importantly, of course, is that of getting your 10%, the rule of 10. Now, as far as the rule of 10 is concerned, remember, basically, we should be getting 10% return on our investment from our actual database. Let's start with who should be in our database. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get right into it. So who should be in our database? So write this down. There's 5 key categories. Number 1 is, of course, your past clients. Number 2 is going to be your friends. Number 3 is going to be that of family. Number 4 is going to be associates. Okay, who are associates? Associates are basically people that we do business with out in the community. Think of a dentist, think of a doctor, think of a nail salon, hair salon, barber, dry cleaners, mechanics. All of these people, if you're giving them money, you should be able to be in a position where you're expecting business back in return. Okay, so these are the people that should be, in a sense, in your database. The last one that's missing is your vendors. Who are your vendors? Well, depending on the state that you're in, you got escrow, you have title, you have your lender, your loan officer, you have, termite, you have your plumbers, you have all of these people that basically are a part of your circle. Okay, so let's go ahead and repeat that. Past clients, friends, family, associates, and vendors. So make sure you write that down. So with that, I want you to actually create a list. This is what I ask of every single one of my coaching clients. It's super exciting for me because I'm sitting here working and putting together business plans with my coaching clients. And it's always fun when you get the opportunity to see a great coaching client. I'll leave the last name out of it because I haven't gotten this person's permission. But 3 years ago, this person was writing a business plan to make $600,000. That's a lot of money. Okay. Well, this year, guess what? 3 years later, we're putting together a business plan. Again, this is for him, not for me. And with this person, their goal is to make 2.6 million. Okay, so they're on track to make 1.8 million. Where is the largest increase of their business? Do you think it's mailers? Do you think it's, all of these passive approaches such as open houses, expires, and physicals? And I'm not saying that those are bad, but the largest growth is the topic we're talking about. Okay. So,
Referrals.
Yeah, absolutely. Referrals. Everything that comes from our database. So whether it's they themselves and or, of course, from referrals. So we have to understand this. Whenever I get the good fortune of coaching somebody and we talk about doubling, tripling, or quadrupling agents' business, it happens. It doesn't happen once. It doesn't happen twice. I've been coaching now for over 12 years. And every single person that I've doubled, tripled, quadrupled their business, the number one source that is going to actually help them increase and do that is this specific topic. Okay. So I gave you the 5 categories. My question to you is, do you have these people on a list? I ask of my coaching clients to put a very, very specific and very basic list and put it on an Excel spreadsheet. Now I'm going to ask of you to take one step further. I want you to separate the husband and the wives of the ones that you actually have a relationship with. Okay, so if you have a great relationship with a husband, but you very seldomly, if ever, spoken with a wife, don't put that person on there. And or, of course, vice versa. Or the other way around. You had a great relationship with both of them. Separate them. Okay, so I want you to think about this number. Okay, so I know some of you guys are actually joining in, just kind of jumping in. We're talking about personal database. We're not talking about the collection of all of these names and numbers from Zillow leads, from sign calls, from all of these other random places. These are people that are your personal database. Past clients, family, friends, associates, and vendors. I want you to put those people on a list. So now think of that number that should be on there. Okay, so 100, 200, 300, 500, whatever that number is. I want you to think about that number. This is what we're going to talk about the entire month. And this is what excites me. Because whatever that number is, take 10% of whatever that is. So if your number is 100, take 10% of that, and that's basically 10 deals. If your number is 300, 10% of that is 30 deals. If you have 500, 10% of that is 50 deals. Now, here's the exciting part, because ultimately every single last coaching client, 99% of them, I've only had one person that's come close, almost every single one of them are between 4, 6, and 7%. So as you're putting together, which you should, not next week, but the week after, actually, no, it is next week, we're going to be putting together a business plans. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a business plan class. So hopefully you're planning on attending that. Now, of that, you should be looking at where your business has come from. This is basically with what's called source recap. Okay, so where did your deals come from? So this year to date, I'm at 11 closings. I got 2 more deals that I'm going to close by the end of the month. I'm going to end up closing 13. Okay, or you're going to close 27, or you're going to close 38, whatever that number is. You're going to look back and say, okay, of the 27, 10 of them came from here, 6 came from over here, 4 came from there, 3 from here, 2 from there, 2 from there, and 1 from here. I don't even know if that adds up. And then when you start putting together your business plan for that next year, you start to look at, okay, can I take that 6 and turn it into 10? I think I can. I think I can. But and then we start looking at this a little bit differently. Because you got, as an example, you got 10 deals, but and then based on the question that I'm asking you, you have 300 people in your database. Whoa, wait a minute. What the heck? Can I really do 30 deals from this particular source? Yeah, you can. What's the likelihood? Well, the likelihood is probably slim to none. Okay, so sorry to discourage you right out the gate. But what we can do is we can take that 10 and turn it into 20. While that list goes from 300 to 375. And then the next year, you basically look at the year and you're like, okay, well, I did 20 last year. Can I now get to 37? And then again, you don't. But you do get to 32. And now your database is at 425 people. So it's this constant chase, which is actually really exciting. You guys understand what I'm getting at? So we're going to talk about the entire month of how to capture that. Okay, so if you want to learn how to double, triple, and quadruple your business, this is one of the most powerful tools that we can talk about for the entire month. If you don't, that's okay. You guys can go ahead and log off now. Okay, but here's the thing. Of every coaching client that I've ever been able to help them increase their business, the number one most impactful source is this one. Because we neglect them. And why do we neglect them? One of 2 reasons. Number one, we don't know what to say. We don't know what to tell them, right? What do I tell them? What are the things that I'm supposed to have these conversations about? I see all of these different scripts and I'm supposed to call them and say, hey, who do you know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest here in the next couple of weeks? No one? Okay, cool. I'll call you in 3 months. Okay, which is part of the Mike Ferry script. And I'm not trying to put his script down. Okay, I love Mike Ferry. Mike Ferry, obviously, I worked for Mike Ferry for the last 12 years. And, I've been able to grow my business because of Mike. But in that, what's missing, okay, is that what is the purpose of our call? Creating a benefit. Okay, so I'm going to share with you in regards to how I was able to grow my business to over 150 plus deals a year, year after year after year after year after year, which is basically going to be this one source. Okay, so let me open it up to the audience. Based on the information that I basically just provided, what questions do you have? How do I help you become a next millionaire agent?
Robert, I think you nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know a lot of people, but I never asked them anything about business. And now, since I just closed one deal from the biggest organization, he's a leader, and then he advertised for me, and then I'm still not talking anything about it with the people that I meet and he meet.
Mm-hmm.
I think something in my mind that's stopping me is an ego. So I know that. That's why I'm ready and open to learn during this month to tap into that source, because those are the people that I already done business with, the leader, that I can have something to say about it,
Yeah, absolutely. So you basically great segue, because I gave you guys the number one reason, okay, or a reason, which is not number one. A reason is we don't know what to say. And number 2 is with what Ann just mentioned. That's our ego. And our ego shows up in so many different ways. Okay, I hear it all the time. Trust me. Okay, there's nothing new you're going to sit here and tell me. I've heard it plenty of times before. Oh, no, it's okay, coach. We don't need to talk about that. I get business from my database all the time. Cool. Awesome. Good. I'm glad you do. How many people do you have on your list? Well, I have 282 people. Great. How many deals did you do last year? Well, I did 13. Good. You're not doing exactly with what you're supposed to be doing. This is why we're going to talk about it, whether you want to or not. And the reason you don't want to is because you don't want to come across, which is the bottom line for a lot of you, is you don't want to come across desperate. You don't want to come across, and it's going to happen. You're going to give these people a call. Havelia, hey, it's Robert, the realtor. How are you doing? It's been a long time. Hey, who do you know that's looking to buy, sell? Hey, Robert, it's good to hear from you, but everything okay? Is business fine? Oh, then you start going like, oh my gosh, now I feel like as if though I'm this greedy, desperate, non-productive realtor. So I'm going to teach you guys this entire month of what to say. I'm going to give you guys 3 primary scripts. Okay, 3 primary scripts. And with that being said, if you want a copy of these scripts, go ahead and DM me. Okay, don't put it in the chat here on Zoom. Okay, DM me. You guys have all of my other sites. Okay, so make sure you guys are subscribed over at YouTube. Go ahead and send me a message via TRT, Facebook, or of course Instagram. And for that matter, some of you I know follow me also on TikTok. Okay, so I'm going to encourage you guys to go through that. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk a little bit about the balance. Okay, there's a balance in this because some of you that did do, as an example, 13 deals last year, 11 of them came from your database. You're like, oh, coach, I'm good. No, you're still not good. I've coached probably about 500 people in the last 12 years, not one person. Okay, and I don't mean to be discouraging, but that does include you, that have actually captured the 10%. So of this, we have to understand that even that person that I described that did 13 deals and 11 of the 13 came from their database, you still have room for growth. So I'm going to show you how to grow the database, how many people you actually have, how to be able to identify what to tell them, when to tell them, how often to tell them, what are some of the things we're supposed to do besides just simply calling them. Okay, so we're going to go over all of that stuff. But I'm going to give you one quick point here, separate from everything we just covered. 30 to 35% of your business should come from this source. Okay? And what I mean by that, if your goal is to do this next year 20 deals, well, really you should be doing about 6 or 8 deals coming from the source. Meaning you have the potential to grow more. So where is the other 65 or 70% going to come from? Well, 20% is going to come from door knocking. 15% is going to come from open houses. Another 15% is going to come from social media. 10% is going to come from whatever it is. The point is you don't want to be the agent that I just described that is doing 13 deals and 11 of them came from the one source. Because you're shorting yourself. You're putting all of your eggs in that one basket. That agent that I just described, kudos to you. Okay, I'm sure you're a very, very successful agent. Okay, but that's the type of agents I love to coach because in that I take that person from 11 deals in their database to 20, but I also grow the other sources. So now they go from 13 deals to 30 to 35 to even potentially 50 deals. Okay, so my good coaching client, Lewis, I'll give you guys a quick little example. So I don't know if he's on here, but if he is, don't forget, don't worry, I'm not mentioning a last name. Okay, when we first started, his goal was to do 30 deals. Okay, 30 deals and make a little over 600,000. He accomplished that in his first year. We're now on year 3. Okay, now he's putting together a business goal of doing 110 deals and making $2.6 million. Okay, and this isn't the first client. Okay, I've had numerous clients. I haven't counted them. I would venture to say there's probably about a good 30 or 40 clients that have had similar paths of trajectory. Some of them, Christian Stone, some of you guys know of Christian. Okay, I did share that with you guys because I use that as a testimonial. When we first started, he was doing 120,000. 4 years later, he's now making $1.4 million. Okay, so don't think you can't. You can, but it has to be based on this foundation, which is this particular source. We have to understand our personal database is our gold mine, and we have to treat it that way. We just came off of Thanksgiving. I'm not going to put you down, but I will. Some of you just went out there and bought 100 pies. How many of you guys did the 100 pies thing or whatever it may be, right? And that's the only thing you did the entire year, right? Do you want apple or do you want pumpkin? Right? And that's super cute. It's adorable. I want to do pies next year too. But that's not the only thing you can do. And you're being disrespectful to your people by simply giving them a pie and expecting 1, 2, 3, or 4 referrals in return. So what do we need to do? Okay, coach, tell me, what do I need to do? You have to call them 4 times a year. But what do I tell them? Cool, awesome, we're gonna break that down. You gotta continue to show up. You're also gonna email them 4 times a year. Now I'm saying on a minimum standard, okay? When I would actually email my personal database, I would email them 2 times a month. Okay, be careful on not over emailing them too. I would say that would probably be the most you'd want to, because if not, they're going to start to unsubscribe as well. You're also going to mail them, snail mail, at least 4 times a year. I would snail mail them 1 time a month. Okay, but at least 4 times a year. We're also going to create a menu of topics, because in the menu of topics is how do we create value with our database? The way we create value with our database is giving them information. How many of you recently heard about the I'm going to wait to buy or sell until a president is elected? Okay, some of you, most of you. How many of you are now hearing the I'm going to wait until next year? I'm going to wait until the holidays. Now you have to be able to prepare these people in advance, because in the menu of topics that we're going to create next week, the menu of topics, it's going to talk about different things that we can talk about that you can strategically call people on. Joe, hey, it's Robert, your realtor. How are you doing? Good. Hey, Joe, just wanted to see if I can borrow you for a few minutes and talk a little real estate. Do you have some time for me? Busy? No, hey, no problem. I want to be very short and brief. Let me get right to the point. What I wanted to share with you is year to date, we've actually had an 8% increase in terms of value. Now, I don't know if you know that. A home in your area going for, on average, $600,000, okay, has increased by as much as $50,000 in value. My question to you, Joe, is who do you know that needs to know this information looking to buy, sell, or for that matter, invest? Well, my friend Bob over at work, but that guy's always on the fence. Okay, well, what's Bob trying to do? Well, he's talked about waiting until the new year because of blah, 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 blah. Okay, not a problem. Okay, what is he trying to accomplish though? Well, he lives in a townhome now. Him and his wife just got pregnant, so they're looking to buy a house that's going to be a little bit more accommodating for their family. Now they also are looking to get a dog as well, and unfortunately their community doesn't allow dogs or pets or whatever it may be. So he's looking to buy a house. Okay, great. What's his time frames? Well, I think he kind of wants to do it before the baby is born, but they want to wait until next year. Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this. Let me give Bob a call and see how I can be of some assistance. What's the value? The value that I'm creating with this is basically talking about the increase of values. Okay. So if you notice with what I did is I monetize the percentage. Okay. Some of you guys might do something similar to, but people have no clue that the market's increased by 8%. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Some people can't do the math. But when I monetize it and I sit there and say it's increased by 40 to even as much as $50,000, wow, really that much? Yeah, it has this year alone. My question to you is, who do you know that wants to take advantage of that? And we're going to talk about different things. We're going to create those menu of topics, interest rates, loan programs, law changes. There's going to be some law changes. Certain states, they're having some big things. 2 years ago in the state of California, we created, well, I didn't do anything with it, but there was a new law that was called the ADU law, okay? The additional dwelling unit. The state basically is telling everyone, hey, you can build a second unit on your property. You don't need the city's permission, but you need the city's permission to tell you how much. Okay, how much property can you actually build? Okay, can I build a 5-bedroom, 4-bath addition, or can I build a studio? And why is this important? We all know, especially in California, not taking out from any of the other states, but you literally are buying dirt for $500,000 in California, in some places, even $1 million, depending on where you're at. Okay. So whenever we give the people the opportunity, and especially now, okay, my oldest son is 28. He makes over 6 figures. He can't buy a house in California. Making 6 figures. He can't afford it. Okay. So if there is a way to be able to create opportunities for other people, that's our job. Our job is to, of course, be able to create that value for them. Does that make sense for everyone? Okay. If it doesn't, just still shake your head yes anyways. We'll make sense of it by the time it's all said and done. Okay. Let me share with you guys a script. Okay. So unfortunately, this is the downfall for those of you that are over on Instagram. This is why I say you should come join us over on Zoom. I'm going to share the script. Okay. And again, if you want the scripts, feel free to DM me and I'll go ahead and send you the scripts anyways. Okay. What do we do with the people that we haven't spoken with in an extended period of time? This is the first script we're going to work on. We do with what I call as a reconnect call. Okay, and this reconnect call is basically people that we haven't spoken with in a year, 2, or 5. Okay, think about those people. Who have I not spoken to in a little while? So when I call them, I want to be able to have a reconnect call. As an example, Joe, hey, it's Robert Villanueva. Do you have a minute for me? Robert, hey, what's up? What's going on? Hey, I was reaching out to you as I was noticing that you and I haven't spoken in 3 years. Last thing I want to do is just send you some random text. I figured I'd pick up the phone and call you instead. By the way, how are you doing? How's your spouse? How's your kids? How's life? How's business? Hey, are you still bowling? How's bowling going for you? A little bit of the personal side of things. And then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn it in a direction. As you know, I've been doing real estate now for the last 25 years. I wanted to see if it would be okay with you. I want to make a commitment to check in with you. Okay, I want to check in with you 3 or 4 times a year. Would that be okay with you? I am now setting a foundation to me getting their permission to call them 3 or 4 times a year. So I'm doing a reconnect call. By the way, is there any real estate questions I can answer for you now? No? Awesome. Well, hey, I promise you I'll check back, in a couple of months. Thank you so much for making the time for me. Okay. And I just wanted to wish you and your family, of course, happy holidays. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you guys next year. How many of you guys can do that? Everybody. Okay. Everybody can do that. Now here's the best part about it. Now I move over. It's February. The holidays have come and gone. I'm starting to call my database from way back January 2nd, 3rd. For some of you, might be January 14th because it might take you 2 weeks to actually get the nerves to call these people. Right? But I'm going through my list. And then I find Joe. Ring, ring. Hello. Joe, hey, it's Robert, your realtor. How are you doing, Joe? Good, good. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for calling. Well, hey, Joe, I promised you I was going to call you and check in with you a little bit more often. I promised you I was going to call and check in with you a little bit more often. Joe's like, hey, thanks. I appreciate it. That's what he's thinking on the top of his head. Joe, I want to talk a little business. Do you have a few minutes? Sure, what's up? Well, I promised you I was going to check in with you a little bit more often. And what I want to do is I want to make sure, of course, every time I call you, I give you something of value. Okay. And what I wanted to share with you this morning is just to give you a little bit of an update of what took place this last year. From January 1st of 2024 all the way through December 31st of 2024. I don't know if you know this, but there was an 11% increase in value of homes. As an example, a home in your neighborhood that's going for about $800,000 on average increased by as much as $80, $90, even $100,000 of equity. My question to you, who do you know of that is looking to buy, sell, or even invest with their newfound equity? Now, is there value in that? Absolutely. Okay. Now, obviously, that's similar to the one that I just did. I wouldn't do it back to back, but I could change something. Okay, now I go in a different direction. Joe, hey, this is Robert, your realtor. Just want to reach out to you. Just promise you I have to check in with you a little bit more often. You have a few minutes? Sure, absolutely. Awesome, great. Well, I want to give you a quick little call just to give you a quick update in regards to what's going on with the real estate market. I don't know if you know, but the state recently made this law change, and what they're basically giving us is the opportunity to blank, blank, blank. Who do you know that's looking to use this information that is thinking about buying, selling, or investing? We're going to continue to work on this. Okay, we're on day 1. It's a little bit of a shorter month. Okay, we're going to work on this. Any questions, comments, concerns that I can actually address?
I do. I have a question.
Ophelia, go ahead.
Hi, good morning. When you are calling your database and they don't answer, or let's say they don't recognize your number, or they do recognize your number, like, oh, I'm not busy. I'm not going to talk to her right now. Do you leave a voicemail message? Do you send a follow-up text, or do you just call back?
Thank you for the question. Okay, this is important, and it's important that I get questions because we're going to address things that are just going to be a little bit on the outside, and it's very valid, okay, in regards to the question. So what do? I follow, Ophelia, answering your question now, I follow a 3 strikes rule, okay, which we'll talk about a little bit further in the next coming weeks. But the 3 strikes rule is basically on call number 1, if I'm calling you, I'm basically just going along the line of like this. Ophelia, hey, it's Robert, your realtor. I wanted to ask you a couple of quick questions when you get a chance. If you can please give me a call back. Voicemail number 1. You're probably going to look at your phone. Robert, questions. What is he calling me for? I might get a call back. You call me. Robert, hey, it's Ophelia. You called me. You had some questions? Yeah, I did. But before I ask you the questions, I want to check in. How are you doing? How have you been? How's life? How's the kids? How's the hubby? How's everything going on in life? Well, I just wanted to let you know blah, 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 blah is going on in real estate. The question I had for you is, who do you know? Okay. Moving on. Person doesn't call me back. Voicemail number 2. Ophelia, hey, it's Robert, your realtor, giving you a call. I left you a voicemail yesterday. I know we get a little bit busy. Okay. And I wanted to see if I can borrow you. I promise you it won't be much more than about 5 minutes of your time. Okay. So when you get a chance, if you can please give me a call back. That's voicemail number 2. You got to call in consecutive days. Voicemail number 3, the next day, you still don't call back. Ophelia, hey, it's Robert, your realtor, just giving you a call. I know you've been super duper busy. Hey, don't worry about it. Okay, the reason I was calling you the last couple of days is because of the following reasons. Blah, 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 blah. The questions I had for you is, who do you know of that needs to know this information looking to buy, sell, or invest? Those are the questions that we're asking. We're going to break all that stuff down. Okay, I want to make sure that you guys continue to show up. Okay, we're going to go over all of the scripts. If you want more, of course, information in regards to the scripts, if you want to get the scripts, go ahead and send me a DM. Okay, we're going to break all this stuff down. If you're not getting 10% return on your investment in your database, you need to. And I'm going to help you do that. All right, everybody, I'll see you guys later, okay? So don't forget, tune in. And I'm going to encourage you to come join us over on Zoom because I unfortunately can't share a screen with you guys here. So I'm going to encourage you guys to come over on Zoom. But if you want to hang out here, that's okay too. There's no problem with that. But of course, there are some limitations to actually using the Instagram platform. Thank you guys for attending. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:30. See you soon.